Starfield is nothing out of the ordinary, yet it's everything we've come to expect from a developer like Bethesda. They demonstrate that they are unwilling to make leaps forward in development into fresh genres or anything that isn't clearly related to Skyrim or Fallout. They do manage to entice you in with incredibly well executed marketing such as live action trailers and visually stunning effects, but you shouldn't let this fool you, because behind the smokes and mirrors is nothing more than reused assets from Fallout and the Elder Scrolls. In terms of functionality, this game does not work or function on a hard drive. You need to have an SSD. There may be a patch in the future for this, but it's unfortunate that this is the only issue that's causing people not to be able to play the game. The abilities that you obtain through shrines are just Dragonborn abilities with a space aesthetic attached to it. The run cycles and overall AI, as well as NPC dialogue and aesthetics, are all so out of date that it feels like I'm playing Skyrim. It may sound absurd, but it's true. They did a good job with the music and the aesthetic and space. However, when you spend 90% of your time sitting and watching cutscene after cutscene, it starts to become difficult to put up with. Do you want to sit down? Do you want to leave a ship? Do you want to open a door? Do you want to travel? Do you want to purchase something? Do you want to talk to an NPC? Then watch the cutscene, which you can never skip because it's not utilized for loading. Loading is quick. This is simply unnecessary, as it adds up to be a large waste of your time, frequently breaking your immersion. I believe that there's a fine line difference between a game feeling like something else and actually being what they're supposed to be feeling like. The majority of the locations seen were all repurposed assets from previous games. Caves were all the same layouts in which you would only go there for materials and nothing else, while the fauna and some animals on the surface were all uninteresting. Sprinkle in a few point of interests, a few locations where you can fight a couple bad guys, and also base building, which is going to funnel straight into your crafting. It's all repetitive. You can't even travel to other planets. It's all done in separate instances by loading into another cutscene into a separate area on the planet. If you want to play this game with the goal of flying through the solar system, embarking on adventures, colonizing planets, encountering different societies and species and so on, this is not the game for you. I cannot emphasize this enough. Outside of the aesthetics and some incredibly lengthy and dull orbital fights against bandits and bounties, the game has little focus on space features. Think about it as something in the background that you can't actually interact with much. This is all to keep you playing the game and give you something to do rather than being genuinely fun. It takes about 15 to 24 hours for the game to really open up and to become interesting. But by that time, who cares? You've distracted yourself enough by doing every single thing that the game has thrown at you, making it very difficult to focus on one thing or another. I don't dislike the game in any way, shape, or form. It's neither good nor is it bad. As developers, they made the safe choice, keeping to what works and what sells. It provides different features to distract you, which is what video gaming is all about. Yet most of these options are meaningless in the end because they just don't feel like they matter. None of your choices have much of an impact. The game feels antiquated because it uses the same flaws and features as their previous titles without any actual major changes outside of the repolished and revamped combat. Reskinned for space.